Alright, so this is my Urban DH bike, and I've had quite a few requests for a bike check on this bike, so here it is. This is my 2021 GT Force. This frame was painted by Fat Creations for Maribor World Cup in 2021, and I think it was for the 50th anniversary of GT, so it might have been 21, 22, but we all had these custom paint jobs, and this frame's just been hanging up in the shed gathering dust since then, and I decided to revive it for the Valparaiso Urban Race. So yeah, it's good to get it back running, and it's an amazing paint job. Fat Creations done an unreal job of it. Actually, as you can see, I've changed the link here, but this one doesn't quite match. Well, I used to have a yellow one there which looked a little bit nicer, but I do like the prototype look of the silver one, and the reason is in Valparaiso I cased a big drop, and my whole link was bent. So I've never done that in many years of EWS racing with this frame. I did a bunch of races on this bike and I never broke any of them, didn't break one frame, but I managed to bend the link. So yeah, to get Fat Creations to blast this one back because it was green and I couldn't have a green one on there, and that prototype looks pretty nice with the silver one. But yeah, now into the bike setup. We're running the Fox 40 up front. I've got the 120 psi with 6 tokens in there. A lot harder than my normal downhill World Cup setup. Normally for downhill I'm between 92 and 95 psi, also with 6 tokens, but definitely needed a lot harder for the stairs. I've also got a reduced travel on this to 190, so we've got 10 mil less, and then the angles match up a bit better to this frame, so it's an enduro frame downhill fork. We've got the Crankbrothers Synthesis wheels, and we're running Hope hubs on them. We've got the Hope Pro5 and the Pro5 downhill on the back. Actually, with that downhill rear, I didn't realize that the 148 HG didn't come with, it wouldn't fit to the 10-speed Saint. So I've actually got a custom 8-speed Saint, and maybe that's the new stuff, but maybe not. So we've got an 8-speed Saint on the back. We had to modify a little bit to make it fit to the Hope HG 7-speed downhill cassette, but it's all working nice. And yeah, we've got, of course, the Continental Kryptotal DH casing Supersoft tires. They're probably the best tires in the business, I would say, and they last the longest, and they also keep the grip for the longest amount of time, even in the Supersoft compound. I run 35 psi in the rear and 32 in the front, and normally in a normal downhill race I run 26 front and 28 rear, so quite a lot harder than normal. You want your tires hard so you don't rim out on the stairs, so run them a bit harder, and you also want to roll as fast as possible, so yeah, run them hard, and also protects the wheel a bit more. And we've got no inserts at all. This wheel and tyre combo is really strong. I haven't, in 2 years I've had 2 flat tyres, so that's racing all the World Cups, everything. Only 2 flat tyres and broken 2 wheels, so that's it. It's pretty solid run for the amount of abuse I've put through this, and I also weigh 90 kilos, so it's quite a lot to handle. But yeah, on the back we've got the Fox X2. We run 250 psi and as many tokens as we can. You just want it pretty hard for the urban downhill. You're pedaling a lot, you're trying to carry speed, and you've got a lot of big compression, so it's a bit different to a normal DH setup. On the cockpit we've got Spank. We've got the marketing in the bike industry says everyone should use 35. I don't go near 35. Motocross bikes don't have 35, so why should a mountain bike have a 35mm handlebar? I've got a 31.8 in the Spike Vibracore. They're probably the most compliant bars on the market, and they take out a bit of the vibration. Then we've got a DM40 Spank stem, and up on the grips we've got the ODI Elite Pros. You've got all of this vibration dampening on the top of the palm. That's what I really like about this grip. And then on the bottom the waffle, so you just got mad grip all the time. I run complete Saint group set. I've got Saint brakes. We've got 8-inch rotors, front and rear, and Saint brakes, just easy to use, easy to bleed, and always pretty reliable. We've got the Saint shifter and derailleur, that, as I mentioned before, the modified 8-speed at the back. And then yeah, Saint cranks, probably the strongest cranks on the market. I don't know if I've ever been to any, so yeah. And they're 12 or 13 years old, all that Saint stuff, so it's going really strong. And I've got a 34 tooth chainring on those Saint cranks. Couldn't fit a 36, so I had to run a 34. The 36 won't fit with the idler there, so yeah, that's the issue there, but we're on a 34 tooth. We've got the Proxim Nembo 145 saddle, and it's mounted to a race face next seat post. Not a sponsor, they were sponsor in 2021, so I just made use of this seat post because it was still on the frame. We've got a Hope seat clamp with the Win TV logo on there. Shout out Hope. They've got the best hubs, and I'm rolling on them, and the best seat clamps. And having the best seat clamp really makes a difference. And we've got some top secret pedals on there that I can't really talk about, so you didn't see any of them. We won't mention those. Then we've got a very old E13 LG1 chain guide that was just on this frame, so making use of it. And yeah, not a sponsor anymore, but yeah, they just hooked it up. Shout out to them back in the day. But overall, I think that's my bike, and that's my Urban DH setup. And I just forgot that I've got this these zip ties on the bottom and a ½ kilo diving belt weight strapped to the bottom of my bike. A bit of keel weight, you know, like a yacht needs a good keel. So I say a downhill bike needs a keel as well, you know, keep it on the ground. And I got inspired by that by riding a lot of e-bikes and just feeling how stable they were. And then I've been running 500 grams on the bottom of my downhill bike for the last year and a half or so. So I thought the urban race, you're going to need to stick to the ground as well. You don't really want to be getting kicked around, and that just gives it a little bit more stability, or maybe a feeling that it's stable. Maybe it doesn't make any difference at all and it's just mental, but it makes a difference even if it's mental. So yeah, that's my Urban DH GT Force, and as it says on the top tube, it's a lot of good times on this thing. So yeah, shout out to everyone involved to put this bike together. Cheers.